Hello and welcome to Pushing Back, Ukraine Daily Brief. As the war enters its 993rd day, these are the main developments from the past 24 hours. The update from the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Russia has lost approximately 716,070 troops in Ukraine since the beginning of the war. The number, which has not been independently verified, includes 1,690 casualties over the past day. According to the released Ukrainian figures, Russia lost 19 tanks, 51 armored combat vehicles, 64 artillery systems, 3 multiple launch rocket systems, 1 air defense system, 54 drones for cruise missiles and 124 vehicles. In the first 10 months of 2024, the Ministry of Defense Lethal Defense Acquisition Agency signed 16 contracts totaling just over $7 million to acquire several hundred reconnaissance strike, logistics, and other systems. It will support our combat units and help save soldiers' lives. The Russians launched 151 combat clashes and carried out 70 airstrikes, including 115 anti-aircraft missiles on the territory of Ukraine. They also used 787 kamikaze drones and carried out 3,859 attacks on the positions of Ukrainian troops and settlements using various types of weapons. In its latest intelligence update, the Institute for the Study of War. The Kremlin is attempting to dictate the terms of any potential peace negotiations with Ukraine in advance of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration. The manner in which the Kremlin is trying to set its terms for negotiations strongly signals that Russia's objectives remain unchanged and still amount to full Ukrainian capitulation. The Kremlin does not appear any more willing to make concessions to the incoming Trump administration than it was to the current administration. Lavrov's preemptive rejection of the potential suggestion to freeze the current front line further indicates that Russia is not interested in softening its approach or demands in negotiations and maintains its objective of total Ukrainian capitulation, which Russian President Vladimir Putin explicitly outlined in June 2024. Ukrainian security services reportedly assassinated a Russian Black Sea Fleet official in occupied Crimea on November 13. Russian President Vladimir Putin and Russian oil executives reportedly rejected a proposal to merge Russia's 3 largest oil companies. Contradictory reporting on the proposed Russian oil merger highlights a possible factional struggle between close affiliates of Putin and Russian energy executives. South Korean and U.S. intelligence separately confirmed that North Korean troops have deployed into combat alongside Russian forces in Kursk Oblast. Russian forces recently advanced near Toretsk, Kurakov, and Vuhledar and in the Donetsk-Zaporizhia Oblast border area, and Ukrainian forces recently regained positions near Chasiv Yar. Russian forces continue to heavily rely on refurbished tanks and armored vehicles pulled from storage to replace vehicle losses during ongoing combat operations, but likely will not be able to sustain these losses in the long term. In Zelensky's nightly address, he spoke about 3 key areas. Firstly, boosting Ukraine's air defense with international support. Ukrainian air defense forces continue to intercept Russian missiles and drones, saving lives across the country. Zelensky expressed gratitude to international partners like Germany for their vital support and discussed strengthening Ukraine's air defense capabilities through increased supply and, ultimately, local production. Zelensky and German Chancellor Scholz also reviewed their cooperative Ramstein format and Ukraine's role in the upcoming G20 meeting. Secondly, frontline resilience in Donetsk region. Ukrainian forces, particularly in Donetsk, continue to counter Russian offensives. Brigades such as the 24th, 44th, and 128th were commended for their bravery and effectiveness, especially amidst recent Russian advances in Kupiansk. Zelensky praised these units for their resilience and relentless defense against occupation forces. Lastly, building Ukraine's resilience plan for sustainable peace. Zelensky led discussions on Ukraine's internal resilience plan, coordinating with government officials, state-owned enterprises, and civil society to bolster Ukraine's stability and defense. This plan aims to support the broader victory plan, driving Ukraine toward a fair peace by consolidating all internal resources and strengthening national resilience. This year, the Alina Zelenska Foundation funded 6 new schools of superheroes in hospitals across Ukraine, aiming to provide education to children receiving medical treatment. Speaking at the Conference of Hospital Teachers, First Lady Alina Zelenska praised the 150 educators as superheroes who help restore normalcy and inspire hope in young patients. Plans include rebuilding a school destroyed in a missile attack and establishing 6 additional centers next year with support from international partners. Thanks for following today's updates. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. We'll return tomorrow with the latest news on the ongoing conflict.